2023 was hard. That year drained me. Hello, guys. So, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, today I don't want to call it a chit chat, but this is going to be like one of the most realistic videos I've ever done, on here. And we're going to just talk last year. We're going to talk 2023 for a little bit. 2023 was a year. I I just spent some time, you know, for the past couple of weeks just thinking about last year and thinking about all that, I went through as an individual, as a family, and it just hit me like how God, is faithful and just merciful, always there for his own. 2023 was those kind of years where like you never see it coming and it just comes and boom, you're just like you're struggling to like breathe, it's like you're drowning but you're trying not to drown, and 2023 was that kind of year for me. The year started off pretty good to me. Everything was going fine, everything was going chill, everything was cool, had trips and started to plan trips. I kind of had an idea of how I wanted the year to look. And then somewhere along the line, boom, 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 it's everything just started like boom, going down. And and one of the greatest losses I had last year was losing my grandmom. She passed. Her soul rest in peace. And when you lose someone, you know how it is. If you've ever lost someone dear to you, you start to ask yourself questions of, or kind of reminisce on the times you spent with them, and you start to question if you gave enough, if you spent enough time with them, if you gave enough of yourself to them. Just kind of thoughts, played in my head for a couple of months. I've always loved my grandmom. I was always, a force in her life, and she was always a force in my life too. But I couldn't help myself but ask, those questions. And it was that happened. That loss came at a time where I was like, how bad can this year go? And then that happened. Then I started to deal with fear of, death, because I I come from a very close knit family, and losing anybody is just something I dread. And I was just in that space. I was depressed. There's no other way to put it. I was depressed, you know. But I was depressed. I got laid off at some point from my job, which it wasn't just me. It was like a lot of us got laid off at once. I was like, how bad can this go? Like, how, like, what's like, so it was just like I was living in dread of what's next, what's the worst thing, what's going to happen next. I, I'm not even going to lie, I made so many bad decisions last year. Like, and it's not like I didn't pray, I prayed and I received direction from God, but I thought I knew better than God. I will literally pray and ask for direction, and when God tells me what to do, I'll go and do the exact opposite. So I kind of felt like I self-sabotaged my year, because I realize now that you can, like, it's one thing to pray to God, to ask for his direction and his plan and guidance. It's a whole different thing to obey when he tells you, okay, this is what you need to do. And that was where I caught myself last year. I found myself disobeying almost everything that I felt like God was telling me to do. I don't know why, for some reason, it just felt like I knew better. Like, I'm like, yes, it sounds crazy. Like, how do you know better than the one that made you? And so, yeah, I found myself in a cycle of making so many bad decisions. And the more I thought I knew better to make my year better for myself, the more I found myself going deeper and deeper into the whole of confusion, of self doubt, of procrastination. Like, it's just like everything that I was trying to run away from because I thought I knew better, I ended up doing or being. If there's one thing that 2023 taught me amidst all this craziness was when asking God for guidance or anything, like ask for the strength to carry on in obedience when He tells you what to do. It's like asking hard questions that you don't want answers to, but that's how it is with God. Like when you ask the questions, like be prepared to accept the answers, whatever it may be. So 2023 hurt me in a way, not because of village people per se, because I mean I'm a child of God. I'm not subject to village people, but because I felt like I messed up my year for myself. I didn't follow directions. I didn't listen to the one that I had already planned this year before I came into it. And going forward, I just wanted to make this video to tell people, like, if you're don't ever get caught up in that space where you feel like you don't need God. One thing I would always find myself doing is whenever I felt like I was in this tight space where I couldn't process things, or my mind just felt like jumbled up, instead of me to run to God, I would run from God. And running from God can look like a decline in your prayer life. It can look like isolation. It can look like depression. Because trust me, when you're depressed, it's very hard to like pray, it's hard to worship, it's hard to trust God. Depression alone is a sign of you carrying a burden that is not yours to carry in the first place. And so I found myself um, picking up weights that I'm not meant to pick up. It's like you working out in the gym, and maybe the weights that you're meant to pick up as a beginner, maybe 5 pounds, and then you're out there trying to pick up 50 pounds. That's not yours. And so I had to learn in 2023, like, this is not my fight. I've spent the whole year fighting, trying to prove a point to maybe myself. I don't know. I don't know, but all in all, I realized that no one can do life without God. No matter how intelligent you think you are, you need God. End of the day, end of discussion, you need God. And so the system of the world is constantly trying to make you feel like, oh, you got this, just do this. There's a system, oh, just do A, B, C, D, and you'll be successful, or you get this, you get that. But if you're a child of God, then you know that you don't operate by the system of the world. And so even when the system of the world is telling you to go a particular route, yes, it may sound right and correct to the world, but when you're in God, it may not be correct. He's maybe telling you a whole different route that doesn't make sense. Trust me, guys, it never makes sense. until you are there. You know, everything that God said to do didn't make sense when He said it, and that was why it was so hard to obey. It was like, it's like you telling me to um you telling me to store up water, for example, where there is abundance of water. It doesn't make sense. Like, why do you want me to save water when there's water? And then, but God is telling you to do that. You have to obey. You have to obey. Like, just listen. It's hard. It's hard. But obey, because God knows 5 months from that day or from that time that though you may have seen water, something can happen that that water will be gone, and then whatever you have saved will be what will come through for you. So guys, I don't want to make this video long, but yeah, 2023 was hard for me, but I've come to accept that it was hard because I let it be hard. It wasn't any village people, it wasn't the system, it was me. I let myself fall prey, or or fall, to the world's temptations of, oh, you can do this by yourself, or you got this by yourself. No, and trust me, if God has His eyes on you, sometimes people can do it. People can make some kind of moves and get away with it. But trust me, you will do it and it won't work. You get stuck. It just won't work. So we are God's children. We are God's own. Abba loves us. Like, still, through everything, He still brought me through, and He still showed me love. And I'm that child, like, that is consistently trying to learn. I'm constantly trying to learn how to be better, and I fail and I fall every single time, but I'm learning to fall and fall right into God's arms and trust that He will pick me back up. So guys, it's a very emotional video for me, but please, I hope that you are able to pick up one or two from this. Never think you can do it on your own. Believe and trust in the power and strength of God to lead you, to guide you through. Please, as usual, if you liked this video, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment below on the kind of content you'd like to see from me. God bless you and have a great day. Bye.